Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm MrRishi, and today we're going to be going over episode 6 of our VOD review. Today we're going to be going over a match against Faiman. I believe he is number 1 TMR right now, or he was number TMR at least very recently, as of, was it August 13th? Or September 13th, my bad. But yeah, let's get right into things. So, they banned my Lawali first. I'm going to be banning the Nagais, as even if I didn't know this was a Nitsi or a Nagais already, I would have already banned it. This is mostly because I can't risk it being a Dissi or a Nagais, right? So I pick Oshiara up, as it is pretty good into his team, considering that OB10 plus Valier can be very annoying. I know that my Oshiara outspeeds max speed OB and max speed Valier, so that's a very useful tool against it. It's also very good against the enemy Tolkien along with the enemy Dario. And so I don't want to have to deal with Tyrannet, considering that I have Rulder and Mix and Oshiara on my team. So I just decided to go and ban it. I do believe that they end up banning my Grandpa here. We'll speed through here a little bit. Oh, let's go back. So, if we can, there we go. So, one thing I messed up on here was I shouldn't have picked the Rulder. Even though Rulder is an amazing Tem and it's decent into their team, I actually don't have a very good swap into this lead. Rulder will take a lot of damage. Volcrane will take loads of damage, most likely die. And Mix most likely will die if they choose to pick Soil Steam. Now, if I picked Valier over the Rulder, I would have been able to swap Valier in, allowing me to Bamboozle, opening up my plays for turn 2, essentially. So, we have Hurry Warp procking. We come into this match. Now, what I'm thinking right here is, hey, am I going to be doubling the guard or doubling the Nid? I've come down to the conclusion that I'm always swapping out Oshiara. I'm decided to swap into the Rulder. Well, on the other hand, I actually want to damage the Nid, but I don't want to do it just yet. I want to make sure to break the Bamboozle on the Gario, so that next turn I can hit it with, or threaten to hit it with, my Tataru and my Rulder. So we end up swapping in Rulder, like I said. I extra energy slam in order to break that Bamboozle, kind of trying to think ahead, trying to get open up my plays for the next turn. I do take a lot of damage, like I mentioned in Pick Ban, although Reactive Out does heal back some. And now, instead of going for the Gario, like I said, I'm actually going to be going for the Nidrazil, because I am predicting them to swap in a Valier here. And Nidrazil is also another good target, as once I get rid of Nidrazil, Oshiara has absolutely 0 swap-ins. Like, Valier and Golzi can take a hit, and so can Gary, but they're going to be taking a decent amount of damage for it, especially after I get the initial Serbatio's Wrath up. So we do see the Gario swapping onto the Valier. Mom's Lunch procs, which is a bit annoying, as it does make the amount of stamina I use up for this Major Slash immense. We see the allergic spread coming out from the Nid. Drill impact going on the Nidrazil. Doing about 26%. Which is really good damage for me. Because what this essentially threatens is that this essentially threatens a double into the Nid killing. And so my thought process is, hey, if they end up going for the double, or if they end up going for a Bamboozle on the predicted double, I want to swap into Volcrane. Even if they don't Bamboozle, I'm pretty sure that swapping in Volcrane is always a good play, unless they swap in Gario. But if they swap in Gario, then they're going to be risking damage from my ruler. So I believe what I end up going with here, I do end up swapping out the Tataru, going into the Volcrane. And so as we see, we do see the Bamboozle blocking my Goring, but I am absolutely fine with that. I even dodged a Narcoleptic hit from the Nidrasil, which would have hit my Tataru very hard. And now, with the position I'm in, I have Rockfall and Tardy Rush up on the Ruler. This allows me to click Rockfall and Hook very freely. Yes, they can allergic spread, but I don't really have to worry about that in the long run. As long as I get one hookup on Volcrane for pretty much free, along with damage on this Nidrasil, I'll be in an amazing spot considering that Volcrane is very good into the backline outside of Gario. Also, keep in mind that this Nidrasil's on very low stamina, so I'm guessing that it's going to be swapping out unless it risks overexerting and then giving my Volcrane even more free setup. So we see the rush come out from Valier. I believe this was a misplay on Faiman's part. Xing itself just to get an inhibitor off. And we actually see the Nidrasil stay in, which is very surprising. Considering that when Nidrasil goes for the allergic spread here, it actually doesn't kill itself off with Burn Tick. I'm guessing that Faiman assumed that I was going to go for the Drill Impact there. But alas, I did not. Which allows me to bring out Oshiara. Not only do I get a free hook off, but I also get a free Serbatio's Wrath off. Now, we have to ask ourselves, what did we do to put ourselves in this position? And my answer to that is board positioning, okay? Swapping out the Tataru into the Volcrane, okay? Keeping an eye on the Nid's stamina. Making sure to click Rockfall, because we knew that the Nid was going to overexert, so we didn't want to kill it. If we did kill it, then it would give them a free swap in. Now, incidentally, we just wanted to decrease the damage the Nid was doing, but that caused them to misplay and assume that I was going to kill the Nid, while it would have been a misplay for me to actually actively kill the Nid when they could kill themselves here. So, I guess the biggest takeaway is look at what you try. I've said this before in VOD reviews, but you want to try to look ahead a couple turns, right? That's much easier said than done. But trying to be like, hey, if I predict them to swap in X10, what can I do on my side of the board to have a good matchup against X10 before it even swap, or when it swaps in, right? But back to the match, I do get another hook off onto the Golzi, swapping into the Valier spot, and we get a free Serbatio. So now we're at +4, +2 on my Volcrane, while my Oshiara is at +2. Okay, we'll speed forward a little here. They decide to bring in Gary. Now, this is like, at this point, it's going to be very rough for Faiman, right? I can kind of click Stone Trench pretty freely here. Sorry for the spamming. I can click Stone Trench and Sharp Rain very freely here, actually, as I know that Oshiara does not die to a single Hasty Lunge. We do see the Mom's Lunge, which does suck, but I don't think it matters in the long run. Or at this point in this game, I was thinking that it didn't matter in the long run, because it does proc my Vigorous, making Valier take even more damage than it should have. And then we see the Sharp Rain coming out. Rockfall proccing the evasion on Volcrane. And then we'll speed it up here. We end up going for the Tsunami and resting. And we get a double kill. And then, essentially what would have happened is I would have clicked Serbatio's Wrath again when the Golzi and the Tolkien came out, and I would have won the game. But We do see Faiman conceding here once this Golzian talk comes out. And yeah, that is GG. You can see the TMR that I gained. I gained 18 TMR from that game, almost to 1500 after this game. But yeah, I guess if we want to go back and kind of see where the game went wrong for Faiman, I think the biggest play was this turn. What was it? Turn 5? Turn 5? Or, sorry, turn 4, actually. Yes. Turn 4, like I said, he expected us to kill the Nidrasil, but we just clicked Rockfall. We were trying to decrease the damage. We weren't trying to kill Nidrasil. Nidrasil was not a threat to any of my times on the board. Therefore, clicking the Rockfall, getting the extra damage, or getting the damage reduction on whatever came in and on the value was best. But yeah. And then, finally, a takeaway from this match. Try your best to think about board positioning, okay? Even if you don't think about it during the match, when you're looking back at your matches, whether it's through replays, which I do suggest, or VODs or something like that, right? Ask the question of, could I have swapped out X-Tem on my side, or Y-Tem on my side, to counter X-Tem on their side coming in? This is a very high-level concept. I don't do it justice by just talking about it right here. But hopefully the example of me swapping out my Tataru, right? Me swapping out my Tataru into Volcrane to then get a better board positioning where this Nid is on the board so that my Volcrane can set up kind of helps exemplify that. Alright, that's going to be all for this VOD review. Thank you everyone so much for coming out and watching this video. If it helped you out at all, make sure to sub, like, and comment as it helps me and it goes a long way. I hope everyone has an amazing day, week in life. I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Peace.